All right, so KVL, we're going to sum the voltages around a loop. All right, we can find the loop pretty easily in this picture because there's only one loop. And we just have to go around, so we have to pick a starting point and come back to where we started and make sure we've made a complete loop. So my habit is to put my finger in the lower left corner. It's totally arbitrary. You could pick any spot you want. You just have to remember that spot so you know when you've gotten back to the beginning, right? So you're going around the block. So wherever your house is on the block, you're going to go around the block. So I always pick the lower left corner, and then whatever sign I hit first, that's the sign that I put on that voltage. So these are all labeled already with the pluses and minuses. And so we're going to just follow that around, and that'll be the sum of the voltages. So the first thing I hit is the minus sign of this source. That's 1 volt. And then I hit the plus side of this resistor, 1 volt. And the plus side of this one, 2 volts. The minus side of this 12-volt source. The plus side of the 3 volts resistor. The plus side of the 4 volts. And the plus side of my unknown Vx. So what we see here is the thing that we used in the first unit is that the source equals the sum of the loads. Here we have 2 sources, but they both have the same sign. They're going to get grouped together. So if we wanted to look at it in terms of sources and loads, the loads equal well, we had source equals load last week, so let me do that. So that would be the 13 volts worth of sources equals the sum of the load voltages. And one of those is the unknown Vx. So if we add up all the pieces, we have 3, 6, 10. 10 volts plus Vx. Did I do that right? So Vx must be how much? 3 volts in order to conserve energy. Another thing in the chapter that they talk about, and they show a couple examples and diagrams, is if we have voltage sources in series, they add up. If we have current sources in parallel, we can add them up by KCL. So you'll see these types of problems where the sources are distributed all over the diagram. There's not really any like entering and leaving sort of mnemonics for KVL. You just go around the loop. Right? So we have to first label everything. We have to pick a plus and minus. And what I picked here was that I was guessing that the current was going to leave this voltage source and go around. Right? If I had this 12 volts, for example, if instead the plus was on the left, so it's a bigger source, it would basically overpower the 1 volt. It would be a total of 11 volts, and the current would go the other way around. But until I figure that out, it's perfectly fine to go around the loop in one direction or the other. All right, so that would be a different circuit.